Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justin here at Triumphal Reads, and in this video, we're going to be doing a quick book review of Neil Gaiman's Norse Mythology. And this was a book review that was requested on my Goodreads account. So if you guys ever see me talk about a book, or buy a book, or wrap up a book, or whatever, and you want a more, just kind of like a single video book review, like an old-fashioned book review video of that particular work, just leave a comment or message me somehow, and I'm sure I'll get around to it at some point if you want basically a more in-depth look at that particular title. But anyways, back to Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. I read and listened to this book at the same time, basically because everyone was saying how amazing the audiobook was, and the audiobook is narrated by Neil Gaiman himself, and I will agree it is really, really good. So it was kind of interesting, kind of just like reading along quickly to like the narration. I thought that was kind of a interesting thing. I've done that like once or twice before, but like I said, Neil Gaiman's narration, this is just like the perfect thing for him to do. Basically, it is legit like just like storytelling with a book like this, so I think he definitely excels at that. So if you're wanting to read or listen to this book, I will admit probably listening to the book is like a real treat. But anyways, on to the content of the book itself. Now, roughly, he tells a bunch of the retellings in something of a chronological order, if you could have like a chronological order with something like the Norse myths. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of overlap and sort of either gaps or kind of errors that like kind of happen in the myths just naturally, just because they contradict each other and stuff. But basically, we start off with Gap and Ymir and stuff, and the birth of the gods and people, stuff like that, and obviously end with the final climax of Ragnarok. And then obviously in between we have a lot of sort of the adventures and quests and just kind of like little side things that a lot of the gods are basically just doing while they're hanging out in either Asgard or Benheim or wherever it might be. Now, I think some of the myths that were particularly well done, probably my favorite out of all of them that was retold in this book was Thor and Loki's journey to Utgard, and basically dealing with the city of the frost giants and basically their like illusion magic and stuff. I thought that one was really well done, as well as the one dealing with the basically the gods kind of finagling their way to get a wall built around Asgard. I thought that one was really good as well. But overall, the retellings of this are done really well, and there's obviously a bunch of the other famous ones, such as Brock and Eitri making Thor's hammer and the other gifts for the gods, and basically all the children of Loki, like Jormungandr, Hel, and Fenrir. Things like that. All of that stuff is included in, like I said, the vast majority of the known sort of Norse myths are found in here. The only real criticism I would have, I have two like small little criticisms with the book. The one where I kind of real nitpicky, just every now and then it seemed like it was a little too modern, I guess, or colloquial, I guess, with basically how either the gods were talking or how something was described. But that was like really rare, and it is a modern retelling, so that's essentially probably going to happen anyway. So that's like real nitpicky. And then the other one's not even really criticism, is basically it's just the book is too short. I don't know if that really counts as a criticism. But it's not very long. It's only like 250 pages or something, but like the margins are really big. Things like that. So it's actually a pretty quick read, to be honest. Like maybe I can't remember. I think the audiobook is like 7 hours or something like that. So it's obviously not like a super big read. I thought that maybe this isn't really a critique. This is just like a thought or something. I don't know what you'd call it. But basically, I don't know. I thought maybe to like lengthen the book, maybe some of the retellings. Basically, the only retellings found in this one are purely like dealing with the gods and mythological beings. Well, basically the gods and mythological beings, things like that. I thought maybe like some of the old sagas, like the really, really old ones that actually have like the gods and stuff in the sagas, I thought might be kind of cool. I mean, obviously I know like a lot of the historical sagas are like kind of like real stories or real-ish stories, so it obviously wouldn't fit, but I thought some of the really old ones, such as Haralth Kraki saga, and like Odin literally shows up and is like a main, is an integral part of the plot and stuff. I thought maybe some of like the really, really old sagas with some of the old heroes could have been like put in there somehow in between basically like the old mythological retellings, then have kind of like the sagas with like heroes and like the gods and stuff, and then go on to like Ragnarok. I thought that might have been kind of cool, and I would like to see like Gaiman's kind of like spin on that. I think that'd be just like really, I don't know. I think he'd do like a really good job with those retellings as well. But like I said, that's not really a criticism. That was just kind of like a thought I had when I was like finishing up, because I basically wanted more of it. But so as you could see, I really enjoyed basically listening to and reading this book. It was just a really fun. If you like anything like Norse or Viking, or you want to learn about Odin and Thor and Loki, things like that, basically, if you're interested in that at all, you should definitely pick this up. And even if you know a lot of the retellings or the Norse myths, if you're pretty like well versed in that, I think there was like two like little stories I had never come across before in this one, but it's still just really fun to listen to Neil Gaiman's like basically rendition of that myth, and just just enjoy the storytelling aspect of it. I still think it'd be well worth your time, even if you're, like I said, well versed in Norse mythology or Norse lore, things like that. But anyways, overall, I'm gonna give Neil Gaiman's Norse Mythology 4.5 out of 5 stars. And if you, like I said, if you enjoy mythology at all, or Vikings, Norse culture, anything like that, definitely go give this book a try. And I will also recommend the audiobook version, like pretty much everyone else that commented on when I bought this book. It is a spectacular listen, and whatever you end up doing, always remember, read victoriously.